today we're going to take a look at some SSD drives specifically from SanDisk and how to take 2 of them, put them in a RAID 0 configuration in order to increase our overall video editing speed by up to 8 times. Hey, what's going on, filmmakers? Thank you for tuning in to the STG Filmmaking channel. Here on this channel, we talk about how to improve our overall video shooting and editing skills. So if that's something you're looking at getting into, consider subscribing to this channel. In our last video, we talked about the Zoom H5 and how it stacks up against other microphones like the Insignia lavalier mic connected to an iPhone using the Rode REC app, as well as what the microphone sounds like that's built into the iPhone itself. And then we also compared what it sounds like against the Sony A7 III's onboard microphone as well. So if you didn't get a chance to check out that video, you can go ahead and check it out right here. Okay, so if you edit video on a PC, you're most definitely going to want to pay attention to this video, because today we're going to take a look at some SSD drives specifically from SanDisk and how to take 2 of them, put them in a RAID 0 configuration in order to increase our overall video editing speed by up to 8 times. So first things first, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. SanDisk did not send me any of these hard drives. I bought all these hard drives with my own money, nor are they sponsoring this video in any way, shape, or form. So any of the comments that I make about these hard drives in this video are just based off my overall research and experience dealing with these hard drives personally. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of the testing that we were able to do with these hard drives. When talking about purchasing SSD cards, a lot of companies go ahead and put up their read and write speeds that they claim to have on their hard drives. So taking a look at the numbers that SanDisk put up on their website, they claim to have a 530 megabyte per second and 440 megabytes per second on the write times. So lucky for you, I've already tested a number of these SSD cards, so we can talk and go over a whole bunch of other hard drives. But the reason why I landed on this hard drive and decided to showcase it here in this video is because I believe that these SSD pluses from SanDisk provide you the most bang for your buck. If you were able to eke out around $70 to $80, you can pick up 2 of these, which are 240 gigabytes per, which will give you just under 500 gigabytes worth of space that you can use strictly for video editing. So these hard drives are not meant to store any of your media, but they're just meant to edit videos. And then once you're done editing the video, you go ahead and take those projects out and then put them into something like a magnetic hard drive. So you guys can be rest assured that I did my due diligence in terms of like benchmarking a whole bunch of these SSDs for you. And like I said, these SSD pluses from SanDisk are the best bang for your buck. You guys can check them out in the description below. They go for $41 right now on Amazon.
Why don't you come rock with me? You only live once, so don't waste your time. Please don't waste your prime. You better go for yours, cause I go for mine, and I go for mine, and I'm gonna open doors, and I'm gonna mop the floor.
The first thing I wanted to do was get a baseline just so we had something to work with and figure out what's like the average read and write speed. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and benchmarked a Western Digital magnetic hard drive. So these are just like old regular hard drives. This one in particular was 1 terabyte, and we ended up getting read and write speeds of 79 and 80. So go ahead and remember those numbers as we go over the rest of the numbers on the SSD drives, as well as a Lacy USB drive. And then at the very end, we were actually able to benchmark a Western Digital Passport, which is also a magnetic hard drive, but just to give you a little bit more context on read and write speeds. Now, taking one SSD plus from SanDisk, you just spent $40 and you want to upgrade from your hard drive and just simply do all your video editing on a 240 gigabyte SSD hard drive from SanDisk. If you decide just to do that alone, you're going from 80 read and write speed to 485 on the read side and 455 on the write speed if you're looking at getting one of these. Okay, so for that instance, you're looking at about 5.5 times faster on your video editing, or whatever you plan on doing on this hard drive for that matter. Okay, so let's say you have about $80 to spend on hard drive upgrades and you decided to get 2 of these and put them in a RAID 0 configuration. I'm not going to get into the specifics on exactly how to set up your RAID 0 configuration. There's tons of videos on that on YouTube. You guys could check that out. Put one of my favorite ones up here for you to check out. What I will say is that there are 2 ways to set up your RAID 0. One is through your motherboard itself, and then the other one is through Windows 10. So just know for the benchmark testing that we did for this video, we went ahead and set up the RAID 0 configuration using the motherboard BIOS itself. Okay, so setting this up in a RAID 0 configuration, we're looking at a 766 megabyte per second on the read side, and then 568 megabytes per second on the write side. So if you plan on upgrading from your old magnetic hard drive to 2 of these set up in a RAID 0 configuration, you're looking at about an 8 times increase on the write side. Now, just a side note, the write speeds are actually the speeds we want to concern ourselves with when it comes to video editing. You may run across another SSD from SanDisk that says Extreme Plus or Extreme Pro. So just so you guys know, if you see something that says Extreme on it or anything like that, these are the older models. So make sure you get the one that says SSD Plus on it. All right, so just for fun, we decided to go ahead and test out one of these Lacy hard drives. Obviously, they're USB. And the speeds we were able to get from those was a read speed of 40 and a write speed of 61. So just to kind of give you guys a little bit more context on how fast setting up a RAID 0 configuration using 2 SSDs from SanDisk actually are. So I'm really excited to see how much faster you guys are able to edit videos using these new SSDs that we just tested. If you have any other questions concerning any of the SSDs that we use for this particular setup, don't forget to hit me up either in the comments below, or you can send me a DM on IG. I upload there on the regular, and I typically respond back to my DMs within the same day. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching this video, and like always, if you felt that you got any value out of this video, man, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you want to see more content just like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I almost forgot to mention, all of the behind the scenes footage you guys saw throughout this video was all filmed on the Canon 77D using a nifty 50mm 1.8. Let me know what you guys think what that footage looks like in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.